Hi everyone. So today we're speaking about self-acceptance. So a few of us probably heard self-acceptance, in dialogue, in conversation with other people. It's just something that comes up on social media. But I want to speak about the importance of self-acceptance. So firstly, self-acceptance, we have to accept positive and negative things surrounding ourselves and individuals as a whole, as internally with things we go through. So when we do not accept the negatives, that means we stay in denial, and therefore it causes a lot of negative emotions within ourselves, right? But then if we don't accept the positive parts, we don't learn about celebrating. We will feel that nothing is good enough. When we achieve one thing or aim to achieve one thing, we think we're going to feel so happy and so excited, and we get to that thing, is like on to the next. So not taking a step back and celebrating, like, oh wow, I really done well, I've tried my best and I finally achieved this thing, and celebrate, whether it is with an ice cream or with a good movie or just something, right? So that is negative and positive things that happen in our life, and that's how life is. It's not a smooth sailing straight road that we might want to have, but it's highly impossible. So it's always curves, ups and downs, wiggly, squiggly. It's never a straight road, and so is self-acceptance. So there's 5 areas where we do need to use self-acceptance. Sometimes we just focus on one area. But as an holistic practitioner, I always focus on each and every area of our life, which is extremely important because that makes us as a whole. Holistic wellness includes your physical, your mental, your social, your environmental, and your spiritual. Yes, these are always hard to remember. So these areas of your life is extremely important. So sometimes when a situation happens, right, it's where either we want to block it out completely, try to keep ourselves busy, and just pretending that it has never happened. But then sometimes when something happens, we can, maybe if you were harmed physically, right, we can focus on accepting the scar physically. However, we don't accept the emotional trauma of the event that happened, nor the environment. Sometimes we can't change the past or cannot change the past at all, and a lot of times we focus on things we cannot control. And things we cannot control is things that happened in the past and also in the present. But there are some things that we can control, which is also the present that we can control, and the future as well. Because sometimes in life, things happen that we don't ask for, things that hurt us, things that make us angry, and things that can change our life completely. And self acceptance is such a big thing for me because it was one of the hardest parts on my healing journey, because you need to do a lot of self acceptance before you can move forward. Because sometimes the jar is so full of things and you can't move forward because it's either you in denial or you don't want to look at it at all because it's so painful, and you might feel that it will break you or you'll show weakness. It is not weakness. It's something that happened in your life. It's valid, and for you to allow yourself to actually go in there. So the biggest self acceptance for me was actually realizing, like, wow, that was me, the kid born in prison, the kid that went through all of that trauma, leaving there, leaving everything she knows, and then acceptance of, wow, I am or was a foster child, and this is my situation, because I lived in such a bubble where I pretended that it wasn't my life. I didn't want it to be my life. I wanted to be someone else's life, because I couldn't understand why did that happen to me. And that's a lot of times we ask ourselves, why me? Why couldn't it be someone else? Why is someone else's life better than mine? So it can cause a lot of things, and also having to accept that this is my situation, this is my life, this is what's happening, and accepting it. And acceptance doesn't mean that it's okay. Acceptance doesn't mean that you have to have like a restoration with someone, or it doesn't mean that what happened, you're saying, okay, cool, it just happened, so it's past. No, you are saying that I acknowledge that this has happened in my life, and acknowledging the emotions that came with it, acknowledging that right now this is where I'm at, this is the circumstances I'm in, and right now this is what I can control, what I can't control. And so you see where I'm going with self-acceptance, because it's the first, very, very first step to a healing journey, because you cannot heal something that you deny or you can't accept, because you won't be open to the restoration process going forward. So stay tuned, follow the next series of videos where I'm going to break down self-acceptance in these 5 areas.